Hello and welcome to part 2. Just then when I started the video, it kind of reminded me of one of those cheesy TV intros. Hold on, let me try that again. But yeah, so today I'm going to be doing the sound design. I have basically listed all of the sounds that I've done, so I didn't show you it, but when I was editing film, because I've done all the shots pretty much, I managed to do that in 2 days. This is the day 3 of making a film Backwoods style. So yeah, I've made a list of all the things that I need. So in total, for Foley, I've got about 25 things Foley-wise that I have to record. However, you'll notice that I've got a thing called priorities. Well, you won't be able to see it, but on this notepad I've got something called priorities. And that's the ADR, because ADR is quite important because it's what makes the dialogue clearer, flows well throughout the whole film. So, I've got to do that, but in order to do that I need to find the appropriate space. I have to isolate the sound. Let me explain.
It all starts with a man called Jack Foley, born in 1891 and died in 1967. He was a pioneer in making sound effects for films. He is credited as the man who invented the art of Foley. There are many stories about Jack Foley's brilliance in the film industry. For example, Stanley Kubrick wanted to reshoot a Roman army scene in Spartacus to get the sound right. However, instead they jangled a set of keys in front of a microphone and got the desired sound Kubrick was hoping for. This has become standard film industry practice and is now a job with the title Foley Artist. What you'll find is that except for dialogue and music, all the sounds involved in films are recreated by a Foley artist in a sound stage or Foley studio. This is a room with many different props to replicate the many different sounds desired in a film. Then there's a screen at the front and recording equipment to capture the audio of the objects that are interacted with. The artist watches the film on the screen and creates the sound in real time with a video. So it's in sync. So I tried out a bunch of spaces so I could test the acoustics of the environment. So first I went outside, but as you can hear, basically there's too much background noise. There would have been way too much interference. There would have been no way that I could isolate the sound of each Foley item. Anyway, it's outside. It doesn't really make sense considering all of the film is set inside. Then I tried the bathroom, but you know, this is how it went.
Hello! Now, I don't have access to a whole Foley studio, so what I do have access to is my room. Now, it may be a little bit blur at the moment, but I'm going to channel, hopefully, my voice and audio for the ADR specifically into this wardrobe, because I don't have acoustic treatment. I can cancel out a few of the noises, but the best I can do is use this wardrobe, because in here, one thing that this wardrobe has, clothes, and a lot of them. So I can use that as my acoustic treatment, because just like acoustic panels by Acoustics and all these other companies, it does the same job at absorbing reflective sounds. So it isolates the audio that you speak into. So when I speak into here, it's all dead and quiet because the clothes are absorbing everything. But when I speak out here, it's a bit more reflective because we've got solid walls here, a window there, wall here, wall there. It's like it's a reflective mess. So yeah, we're gonna have to do something about that. Now, you won't be able to see me properly, but one thing I can do is to stop that is by closing the curtains, because instead of a reflective window, the sound will be bouncing off a soft curtain. Well, it won't really bounce off, hopefully it will absorb, but you'll get my trick. The sound will change a little bit when we do that one adjustment. Okay, now the lighting is a bit off, but hopefully I can fix that in a jiffy. Okay, so now that we've cancelled that sound reflection over there, already the sound has started to change within this room. Because now it only has 1, 2, 3 sides of wall that the audio can bounce off. So let's cancel it completely by using this wardrobe. As you can see, clothes, 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 and we've got a few little points where there's still reflection. So I want to cover this panel here, I want to cover this panel here, and then this back wall which is being covered right here. So even though I don't have access to acoustic treatment, what I do have access to is cushioning and pillows. So I'm going to first get 2 very nice kind of absorbent pillows for sound, and so I'm going to do that. I am going to stuff this first cushion there. I have another cushion that I'm going to stuff and go there. Another soft cushion. Has to be a soft velvety cushion. It can't be this type. I don't know, it's like it's a very teeth grinding sound if you scratch it. It can't be that kind of material because it's basically another reflective material that the audio can bounce off. Has to be this. Right. So now when I speak into it, especially here, my audio has died out. It's died out. I mean, if I turn away, it's going to die out anyway. But if I get something to finish it off, so I'm going to get some fabric. I'm going to use my hoodies. Okay, I've got one hoodie. I'm just going to basically drape it over here like so. That's one. Drape it over this one. There's a mirror here, so it's extra important that I get this one. Across. I'm going to have to do a bit of diving in my bed because I have got some clips that I can get because I have a green screen tucked away in there somewhere, so I should have some extra clips that I can access. And what I'm going to do is, I know there's a spare blanket, I'm going to drape it across and peg it on the door. So I'm kind of hiding myself in this makeshift vocal booth, if you will. So my voice will sound pristine and it will all be great. Of course it will be amplified because I'm using this anyway, which is already a really good front-facing mic. So yeah, I'm going to do that and I'll be right back. So I got the blanket. Well, it's another very absorbent piece of material. And essentially what I'm going to do is I'm just going to open that up. That should be enough. This is about half, so it's actually folded in half. And then what I should be able to do is I should be able to peg that, drape it across both of these, and it's going to get, thank God I'm tall, it's getting quite hard. But basically I am going to peg each side of this and we should be good to go. Okay, so I found my clips, literally just these kind will do. It spreads pretty wide, so that should go over the door. I'll be less visible, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to take you, put you in there, and I've got a photography light that I use when I take photography. Should be able to see me, hopefully. That's the theory. Anyway. Right, I'm just going to move my script so I know what I've got to say in there. Take my recorder so I know, well, so that I can say what needs to be said, and yeah, we'll do that. Right, so you can see me just. What I'm going to do is I'm going to turn on my light now so I can get an idea of what the lighting situation would be like. See, it's quite bright. Right, I'm gonna put this there. But yeah, that's not gonna move. And then I'm just gonna drape this across now. So the only problem is that this is kind of wanting to spring back into place. So I'm just gonna get a weight. Right, so I've positioned a bag here, so I need to find another one that I can drape over everything. So I'll be right back. Okay, so basically what I've done is I've got 2 more pegs and I've basically clipped this hole of the blanket over the top. Ow! Never felt so tall when I brush my hand on the ceiling of the spiky ceiling. But yeah, so I've just done that. It gets very hot in there, so that's why I'm sweating. But yeah, anyway, let's do this. Okay, so I've managed to do it, and basically all I've got to do is essentially say my lines, and then we should be good to go. Okay, so the audio that you're hearing now is the Zoom H6 in this makeshift vocal booth. So yeah, we're just going to give this a shot, and we're going to say some of these lines that we have here. Okay, so here goes. Okay, so that wasn't that bad. I'm just going to listen to what it sounded like, and yeah. DIY in its finest form, and the end result is pretty much a given. I'm going to give you a quick preview so you get an idea of what this will end up like. You've got this. You have got this. Come on. Think. So I've taken a moment to apply the kind of music first, and surprisingly one thing I've noticed that I don't actually need to do all the Foley, so that probably saves me doing a lot of work on stuff that isn't necessary. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to relist the things that I think I'll still need, and then hopefully I can make this Foley list shorter. 18. I narrowed it down to 18. Bob's your uncle. And done. Okay, so I went into the editing stage, and for the most part, I did try to do the ADR in Adobe Audition, but just the feel of it made it a little bit hard and a bit too complicated. So I just naturally transitioned into DaVinci Resolve. Because it just made it easier, considering that it meant I didn't have to transfer the file from one application to another. It just didn't make sense, so I just did it in DaVinci Resolve. However, when it came to the music, I did experiment in Adobe Audition because the parametric equalizer there helped me achieve the sound adjustments that I needed for the music, just so it could suit the short film. But anyway, yeah, here's how it went. So as you can see here, I've got this pretty simple melody. However, it's quite bright, so what I did was I added the parametric equalization, and then I slowed down, I stretched out the song, and then I changed the pitch a bit so it's slightly deeper, and you can get what I mean. Pretty much it changed the entire tone and mood of the tune of the music. So yeah, I highly recommend this cheat and this hack if you've got music that's a bit too bright but you think it suits your short film. So I'd highly recommend doing it this way, and then you can make the adjustments you need. Save each piece of music that I'd adjusted into independent files and then drag it into DaVinci Resolve afterwards. So yeah, I give this a go. And there you have it, you're pretty much done already. All you have to do now is drag and drop the Foley audio that you have recorded in your own time and place it in the appropriate position on the timeline. But remember, don't forget to adjust your levels accordingly, because you want the scene to make sense. Listen, use headphones, then use speakers so that your levels are appropriate. It needs to make sense in headphones and it needs to make sense in speakers. Sometimes it has to make sense just coming out the monitor. It has to make sense. But yeah, once you've done that, you've pretty much made a film. I hope you realise just how amazing doing a simple trick with your wardrobe can help
with your audio, voiceovers, etc. Take it from me, like you're listening to the voiceover that was done in a wardrobe. I'm literally surrounded by clothes as I'm speaking. So, yeah, take my word for it. You'll love it. The end result is going to be great.